Hello everybody, this is Markus Vähälä from No Labels, No Walls Network and Movement, coming now live from Helsinki, Finland. And we are at the Lapinlahti, which is an art and culture center right in the middle of Helsinki. It's a very exciting place of art, culture, well-being, and citizenship action. And this is the place to be. This is the space we want you to see. And that's why I brought my friend Thomas here. Welcome, Thomas.
Thank you. Good to be here.
Thomas, can you tell a little bit about Lapinlahti?
Well, I think the key word here is mental well-being. So Lapinlahti is actually a former mental hospital, a psychiatric hospital dating back to the 1840s. And over the last 10 years or so, the hospital closed in 2008. And there was a period, an intermission when nothing happened. And over the last 10 years or so, we have had activities growing organically, you could say, with artists coming in, with entrepreneurs coming in, and importantly also having projects coming or established that are combining this heritage of mental well-being, the heritage of caring for our mental health, combining that with the culture activities that are taking place here. So we are doing sort of a combo where we are using the resources from the heritage in order to strengthen the mental well-being of the citizens in Helsinki and beyond.
Thank you so much, Thomas. And we are not alone. With me is Michael and Mary from Los Angeles. How are you doing? And tell me where you are at the moment.
Hi, we're Michael.
And I'm Mary.
And we're at the Strindberg Laboratory. We're in Los Angeles.
Headquarters in La Crescenta.
That's right.
California.
And we're in Los Angeles, and we're a theater company based in Los Angeles, and we're so excited to see what's going on over in Lapinlahti. So can't wait to hear what's happening.
Thank you and welcome to the show. With me is also Chris from New York. How are you doing, Chris?
Hi, I'm fine, thank you. Good to see you. Marcus, there you go.
Chris, can you tell a little bit, where are you at the moment?
I am in upstate New York, so if you're at all familiar with New York, New York City is about 150 miles straight down from the south of here, right down the Hudson River. This is a rather rural part of New York. In fact, we're getting almost a foot of snow today. It's coming down fast and furious right now.
Sounds very exciting. We have a lot of snow here in Finland as well at the moment. And we would like to show all of you how Lapinlahti looks when it's summertime. So we have a small video prepared for
nice.
you.
Nice.
Welcome to Lapinlahti Center for Arts, Culture and Mental Well-Being. Founded in 1841, Lapinlahti served as a front-runner psychiatric hospital for almost 170 years. Deemed no longer suitable for its original purpose, the last hospital departments were moved out in 2008, marking the end of an era and the start of a new one. Opening up the historical landmark to the public transformed the old psychiatric hospital into a community site, Lapinlahden Lähde. Today, the hospital functions as an innovative center for culture, arts and mental well-being. It is home to numerous artist studios, art galleries, mental health activists and associations, a museum, a handicraft store, cafeterias, etc., hosting various events, lectures, seminars, and discussions. It offers opportunities for mental health promotion, employment, lifelong learning, and volunteering, as well as a chance to explore new skills in a safe environment. The Lapinlahti community is dedicated to protecting the unique blend of actions and ensuring it remains available for the citizens of Helsinki and beyond. The purpose-driven and inclusive ethos of the initiative provides opportunities for everyone to enjoy a safe, urban parkland environment. In Lapinlahti, public, private and third sectors, civil society actors, arts and culture, mental health work and healthy market economics shake hand in a harmonious way. The Lapinlahti initiative was born thanks to actions from Pro Lapinlahti Mental Health Association, Mieli, Mental Health Finland and the cooperative of Tilajakamo, not to mention the owner of the area, the city of Helsinki. The collaborative effort preserves the old hospital building as a sentinel of mental health and well-being. It is also imperative to ensure that the area remains available for everyone. Lapinlahti, after all, has already for years been suffering from uncertainty regarding its future and whether these activities, missions and values have the mandate to stay in the area or if it's harnessed for profit-seeking. The current Lapinlahti community's motto, Kaikkien Lapinlahti, everyone's Lapinlahti, welcomes you regardless of background or socioeconomic status. Opening up the hospital site to the public places mental health on the map in a positive way. Our vision is to continue to develop the Lapinlahti Hospital into a welcoming and inclusive place for everyone to enjoy and make it even more accessible to all walks of life. There is a richness and value of different population groups mixing, generating a sense of openness and tolerance. Welcome to Lapinlahti Center for Arts, Culture and Mental Well-being.
Wonderful. That was Lapinlahti in the summer, full of action. And together with me, we have a prominent Finnish media professional, Klaus Velp also. Hi, Klaus.
Hello. Hello, party people in the house.
Klaus, can you tell a little bit why you are here at Lapinlahti?
I heard about the place as the city of Helsinki got a group of artists and also organization for mental well-being, the possibility to rent the house for a short period. It was planned to be just a couple of years. And I got to hear about it from a friend, an artist friend, and I got also a space here. But then we've been actually fighting for the place to keep it under the Helsinki city ownership. So, and the city has had plans to sell it to a developer, how do you say, real estate developer, and we've been actually raising the question that why to sell a really beautiful place, a former mental hospital in the heart of Helsinki on the coast, on the shore. It's a really beautiful house designed by Carl Ludwig Engel, a really famous architect designing all the major historical buildings, or not all, but very many in Helsinki. So it's a national heritage. The building is a part of our really important national heritage. And now, of course, the action in this place, it's something absolutely becoming a really strange soup of artists, musicians, and organizations. So there's a lot to protect. So we've been fighting here with my good friend Thomas Lattis, for example, that I give the next word.
Yeah, so I think one of the secrets with the place, when Klaus talked about the soup, it really is a nice mix of people who feed into one another, and that's on different levels or in different regards. So you have, again, like I mentioned, artists who can create projects together, but we also see then like how different expressions of art can support mental well-being, and we use art in the projects to promote mental well-being. So it's the diversity is really key here, the kind of diversity that you don't find in many places, I dare to say in Finland at least, where you have a really broad spectrum of different kinds of actors. And that's something that we are really afraid that we are going to lose if the city progresses with its plans to sell the lot to a real estate developer, as mentioned, who would then have a very different take on what kind of activities would be here.
Thank you, Thomas. And as you can see, it's very relevant that we are here today, as No Labels, No Walls movement is looking for spaces. We are looking spaces together with you. So if you have a place that you would like to share with us anywhere in the world, so send us a note and email to nolabelsnowalls@gmail.com. So we come to see your place of art, culture, and citizenship action. But now I turn the microphone to Michael Bierman from Los Angeles. Michael, why are we looking for these spaces?
Well, I think, you know, as we move forward from COVID, and obviously before COVID, one of the things that was really wanting was places that community can gather. So the other thing is that on the outside, everything is very much set up as a transactional relationship due to the structure of how our society is built. Community spaces, though, are a way for strangers or people maybe that don't know each other to have a non-transactional relationship. So it's really, really important. It's important for art, it's important for culture, but it's also important for democracy. Because obviously in a democracy, right, we need people to speak to one another, and to try to work out their differences or what they have in common. So post-COVID, because No Labels, No Walls is all about people breaking down barriers, coming together, despite their backgrounds, race, religion, etc. We're really trying to find out spaces that we can transform or show that has these no labels, no walls themes and goals and belief systems. So that's what we want to highlight. So that way people can come to these spaces. They can see what a world could look like with that no labels, no walls themes and, and messages and what kind of actions will come from that belief system. So that's really what we're interested in. So hopefully that can then spill over to the rest of society. And that's the idea behind this year's events. So yeah.
Thank you, Michael. Chris Liuzzo from New York, together with you and hundreds of people, we celebrated spaces of shared living and shared life last year. So we are also looking for spaces of shared living. Can you tell a little bit about the shared living movement?
Okay. Well, of course, Marcus, you're aware of it, as is Michael, because you participated in our recent event. But around the world, there are people who are very interested in helping people with disabilities or people who maybe once upon a time lived where you are now to live with people without disabilities and just share their homes and share their lives, as opposed to institutional settings where you are, once was, or even what are so common around the world, group homes of 6, 8, 10, 12 people who don't really know and often don't like one another. So our movement is about helping people find each other, develop relationships, and that's the heart of it all, is to have a genuine relationship that's not based on treatment, but based on mutual care and affection. and help those people live together. And the event that Marcus referenced is happened the same dates as the No Labels, No Walls Fest. And we had people from 10 different countries attend for a day and a half, 2 days, to talk about their shared living experiences around the world.
Thank you so much, Chris. People are sharing lives here in Lapinlahti for a very long time, so it has a history. Thomas, can you tell a little bit about the history and the story so far of Lapinlahti?
I think when you look at the history of Lapinlahti and being a functional hospital for about 150 years, there has sort of grown into the walls an atmosphere and a sort of a long periods, generations of tough times for people who have come in as patients, have had difficulties, and during that time also some of the treatments has well understood been really tough, and we're not romanticizing that. But what comes out from that long period in the hospital, as a hospital, is that now when the clinical activities ended with in the hospital in 2008, and then when we resumed a new 15 then, we benefit from the fact that people have been here before and have had issues before with their mental well-being. And that's a real big resource we find now, because those who come here, any one of us who come here, feel quite comfortable actually in being open about their history, their mental wellness or their well-being. And when Michael talked about breaking down barriers, I'd like to sort of pick up on that in the way that we don't diagnose people here. We are, again, to be clear, this is not like a clinical facility in any way. It's about prevention. It's about letting people letting us be ourselves and not having a label on their forehead of whatever history. And then, you know, if you want to share that with people, you're welcome to do that. And if you don't, that's also fine. But there is a really, we think, certainly biased, but still, we think that there is a really nice function of destigmatizing mental health issues and kind of bringing it on board with other challenges that we have in society in trying to break down barriers that might be labeling or that might be discriminating. So that's how we work with, or how we benefit from the history in today's activities.
Thank you so much, Thomas. And enough of the talking. Let's go around Lapinlahti and see the spaces of art, culture, and citizenship action.
Yes, let's go.
Now we are in Klaus's room. There are several of these rooms here in Lapinlahti, and this is the best place to begin with. As you can see, we are moving towards the light.
Can you see the light?
Excellent. Where are we now?
We're on the first floor, the corridor of Tilajakamo. It's Tilajakamo, it means like sharing spaces. It's a bunch of artists and cultural workers, musicians, actors, and so on, rented this side of the house. So there, it's like the two parts in the house, and on the other side, it's like mental health or low how do you say it? Low barrier mental well-being organizations, but it's all has mixed really beautifully. So now we come from like, if you can hear the jazz musicians playing on the background, maybe something, but there's a lot really excellent musicians renting spaces and having their rehearsals around here. So now we continue to the main gallery, the main corridor and main gallery. Come on.
And just
yeah.
You'll see some parts of the building. There's clear reminiscences of its period as a hospital. So what we just passed, there was a hospital bed. So you have this odd objects that belong to the clinical period. But then actually, as we're entering now, the main hallway between the two parts of the building. That's a renovated part, so this is going to be kind of the fancy part.
Yes. This used to be the eating disorder department, this one, what we are leaving. But now this is the main gallery corridor. As you see, there's an exhibition. Actually, now this is artists from Lapinlahti. Not all represented, but some. But there's actually art school. A door open in the art school, and I asked if we can pass there to visit them shortly. So let's see that. It's focused on more traditional painting styles and drawing. So maybe we can see some pieces of the art. Thanks. Online. This is the. Do you speak actually English a little?
Yeah.
Can you explain what this space is?
We have a small art school here based on, or we teach all like atelier style drawing and painting, and like now this is a bark drawing class. So classical drawing and art in here.
It's called Hera.
Helsinki, yes.
What does the name come from actually?
Hera is, I think it's an old goddess, Greek or Roman. I'm not actually sure which one.
I think so too.
Yeah, yeah, yes, exactly. But yeah, we're an art school open for everybody. So.
How long have you been here in Lapinlahti now?
Quite a few years. I think at least 3-4 years.
Yeah.
Yes, this is a very, very nice place for our school.
Yeah.
It has history, and we love that.
You have exhibitions also.
Yes, the people who are artists who have work rooms here, they have usually also this school has some spring exhibitions here in Lapinlahti.
Yeah.
Like once a year. So.
Can we enjoy your work in the future in the gallery also?
Yes, probably.
So really excellent.
Yes.
And
Okay.
what I like of this mixture of traditional drawing and painting to be part of Lapinlahti, that people can say that, oh, artists never really can draw, but here they can.
Yeah, exactly. For this school here, we really try to educate or try to teach the basics to really, be able to draw and paint what you see.
Really valuable.
So
thing.
yes, it's because the big universities and stuff don't seem to value that as much. Yes, it's more conceptual art, and we have more this kind of craft. We're working on here. So it
seems to be the tendency of nowadays, but it's been forgotten a lot. Traditional drawing. So.
Yes. It's becoming more popular again, I think.
Yeah.
It's been a while when it hasn't been very appreciated, but I think I can see it at least that it's getting more popular again. So, yeah.
Really value your. Thanks
for visiting.
Yes, and the interview. Yes. It's under the interview.
Yes, that was unexpected.
Yes.
All right, thank you.
We have people from No Labels, No Walls movement, together with our friends from Los Angeles and New York, celebrating the spaces of Lapinlahti. So each month we visit a place around the world to link people and artists and culture together. This is a very special place for me. I've had a room here, and hopefully we can build a No Labels, No Walls event here at Lapinlahti later this year. Thank you so much.
Thanks.
Hello to Los Angeles. I live in Los Angeles, so.
Thanks. Right. As said, it's evening. It's nighttime here, so it's a little bit more quiet on the quiet side. So during daytime there's of course much more to show. But if you
I think we're just coming into the second part of the building that Klaus was talking about before, where there is more a focus on mental health. And as part of that work that we're doing here is a small company. So it's a company that does not try to make profit for the sake of profit. It has operations in order for people to be able to return to work life. And that company is running a cafe. So the tables that you see here that Marcus is probably going to show quite soon is belonging to this cafe, and it's sort of a heart of the building. It's really where people usually come, like we just have a normal tendency to go where it smells like sweet buns and coffee, and then they enter in there. And it sort of is an entry point for the whole building and for sort of understanding how this whole thing, this whole place functions. So it's a pretty important place in that way, in all its simplicity. Importantly, as we are in Finland and there's snow outside, the company also runs the sauna in this area, because of course we have a sauna where people can go for a good hot sauna and actually go swimming as well, summer or winter. So
now if you go, I asked just 5 minutes ago for the chess. It's the oldest chess club in Finland, the Helsinki Chess Club. I don't know if it's the name. We can film a little bit, but maybe we don't talk that much because they are having their games there. But let's visit the people over there.
Sano sen englanniksi. Voimme jotain sanoa. Mutta sen verran kuitenkin, niin sitten kun filmaatte, niin filmatkaa tässä etualalla. Nämä katsovat.
Joo, voin tuossa tällä.
Joo, eli mitä te haluatte, että mä kerron?
Ihan englanniksi. Voimme vähän tänne.
Siis minkälaisen?
Jos voit kertoa, että what is this chess club about?
Yes, okay. So my name is Matti Kaura and I'm the president of the Helsinki Chess Club. So Helsinki Chess Club is actively here in Lapinlahti. So we have 2 nights here as a game evening, and this is our Monday game evenings for Blixt. In Thursdays we have 15 plus 15 minutes. And as a parallel also to the Thursday, we have also youth trainings for primary school young people, in which we have something like 20 people over there. And we have a professional chess trainer over there who is keeping normally after the schools event. So iltapäivä kerhotoiminta, so afternoon events for the schools in chess. So welcome. And one of the topics I need to also tell is that the Helsinki Chess Club is the oldest chess club in Finland. So we have started 1996. And actually the official chess in Finland, the tournament chess, etc. started with that one. So welcome, and maybe you can photoshoot of our chess evening. And like I said, this is Blixt. Typically we are not playing so fast.
Yeah. Thanks.
Thank you very much.
Profit place maybe.
Yes.
So
Chess is very international. So wherever you go, you have friends around chess culture. So in Lapinlahti, you can learn skills, meet people over games, and enjoy and use that talent to invite people. Like said, people coming out of schools, having nothing to do in the afternoon. Perhaps this is a place where young people can meet and discuss, enjoy themselves around a game of chess.
now we are entering the cafeteria area that is very alive during daytime. You can have soup and some lunch. It goes over here. Here continues the cafeteria area. And how would you say, Thomas, the people who work here also, it's like low, or it's for getting, now we're looking for the light switch. Away. Yeah, now, yes. So it's a low, it's for people coming back to work, work, työelämä. So
Working life.
working life, yes.
Yeah, it's exactly like that. So, so we want through the cafe and activities at the cafe, we really want to see that those who have dropped out from working life, younger or older, maybe have had a rough time in terms of depression, or have had family issues, have had difficulties earlier in life, meaning that it'd be difficult to get a proper education. They are all very welcome here, and we have actually much more applicants than we can take in. We function both operationally like a cafe, but we also have a therapist. So there's like a support wheel. So everyone who comes here, they still have to work themselves, but there is a therapist that looks after and helps the staff to get on with the day, to have a kind of support tools like lists of things to be done, how to do things, how to grab a new topic during the day, very basic things, but they're very valuable. And this is part of a chain. So once they have been here for some time, we have partners that might be able to accommodate them so they can move on their path onwards.
Maybe we show the auditorium, a really nice place also.
There's also training activities happening here in Lapinlahti almost daily. So people come here to learn things together, and Lapinlahti offers great venues for that. One of the oldest auditoriums in Helsinki, I presume.
And the former stable, as it is, as it were.
Really?
Yeah, there used to be horses here. Now there's other people horsing around.
And this was also a really important place to educate also nurses and psychiatric treaters or professionals. So during the hospital time. So here's been a lot of information passed to professionals.
And at this point, I'd like to bring up something. So we talked earlier today about culture, arts, music, the stuff that you saw in the beginning as we came out from Klaus' workspace. Then there's been quite a lot of emphasis on the mental health aspects. And I think that is really in the center. That's how it sort of radiates from that. And always have that mental health aspect. But the third thing, and again, I'm thinking a bit of what Michael said about democracy. We're doing that kind of work as well, and that will tie in with the auditorium here, because on Thursday, this coming Thursday, there's going to be a discussion with local politicians representing the Urban Environment Board, which is basically, not to get into it, the first level of decision making in the city of Helsinki related to public spaces and public buildings and buildings that they own. So be organizing that discussion on Thursday related to the future of Lapinlahti. This whole the thing that was up, Klaus mentioned about the uncertainty of the future. You know, it would be a real loss for the city. We dare say, even if we're biased, if the city would let this go and there would be more of a commercially oriented profit-making operator. So I have with me one of the flyers, old style flyers thrown around tables and on lampposts and where not. And we're hoping to have a good bunch of people both in the auditorium where we're standing, but also streamed online. It's going to be in Finnish, I'm afraid. So even if you're interested in what's happening with the future of Lapinlahti here in Helsinki, that might be a bit difficult to follow for those who are not comfortable in Finnish.
If we show the aerial photo of the area, so this is Lapinlahti. This is all it's about. It used to be closed for the public, so there was a sign you're not allowed to come in. Here was a fence that the people inside couldn't get out. Or there were the closed areas for a little bit more heavy cases in these parts. But now, as you see, it's like a paradise in the center of Helsinki. There's the beautiful house of Venezia. It's Venice. It's called Venice. This is the main building, and we're right now over here. And so this is the Tilaajakama side for more like artsy-fartsy people, and here for the mental well-being organization and so on. But there's a lot of artists here also. And also it's a nice mix of these two sides. And here's a really beautiful sandy beach. And there's actually Lapinlahden Lähde. The Lähde word comes from well, a water well. So how do you say spring. So there's underwater springs and open land springs. And the idea why they built it in this place was actually also that there's good water. So it was the thinking that good water means well-being and so on. But if I continue, in the beginning of 2 years or 3 years ago, Helsinki decided to sell it that they want to get rid of it, and we're fighting against it. But there was a ANREP that Thomas was talking about, a company, real estate developer, that wanted to build here a huge hotel, absolutely enormous hotel, and have this sort of like for the breakfast room, something for the hotel. So we fought all together in Lapinlahti, got rid of that hotel. But the crazy thing is that now city of Helsinki, here's a really big autobahn, the freeway, and they're planning to make here now a truck canyon for trucks entering the harbor of Helsinki. So we got to save the park from a hotel, but exactly in the same place now they're planning a freeway, like a tunnel. And it's absolutely just crazy. And now we're fighting for that, against this.
And this way, actually, this whole thing became much bigger than Lapinlahti. So as Klaus is saying, 2.5 years, it actually goes further back. 4 years ago it started, and 2.5 years ago, there was this big moment when we really had to push backwards, and eventually the hotel was dumped. But now this thing, when it's a tunnel to the harbor, we're not anymore talking about like a local thing in terms of Lapinlahti only. This is about city infrastructure. So we kind of moved into a different ball game, because now we have to sort of challenge how the harbor runs, and where the trucks that Klaus is mentioning, how they're going to be routed into the harbor. So this whole thing got amped up a couple of levels in terms of the challenge, and we're trying to beat it. So again, like the event on Thursday, it's a piece in this discussion, like what do you want to do with this place, and how do you see, this is like one of the punchlines, right? That, you know, how do you see that this is going to be a nice place, whoever owns it, if you have trucks going into a canyon about 100 feet, 100 meters and 300 feet away from here. So a big deal.
If you have ever heard that Finland is the country with less corruption, it's a lie. So because, for example, the former mayor of Helsinki are still running as the head of the city. He took it really serious, personally, to sell this place to this company called Ende, and really fought and really used all the political levels to get rid of us and to get rid of this house and these buildings and this area. And what happened? He quit the job and went to work for this company who wanted to buy this area. So there's your no corruption Finland. Sorry for the ranting.
So people everywhere, you can join the fight for Lapinlahti. Thomas will tell you how.
Yeah, we are actually, right now, we are reaching out to different centers around Europe that are similar kind art, socially oriented centers. And we want to have them as good examples of where interesting work is done in terms of civil society, in terms of being a non-commercial activity for inhabitants and others. And we want to have them to tell also who owns them on the level of, you know, how are they funded basically, because our hunch is that there is a lot of locations that are not commercially driven, certainly not like profit commercially driven, which would be the case if this were to go with this NREP company that Klaus mentioned. So we are reaching out to them, and through the emails that No Limits, No Walls has, you are welcome to contact us if you have ideas of locations around the globe where you have activities similar to this one, because we will use them as examples on how we can do things the right way and not the wrong way, as things are, you know, sliding at the moment.
You nailed it, Thomas. That was really well said.
Thank you, Thomas and Klaus. And let's go back to where we started from, and let's have a discussion of how we can support Lapinlahti and how we can create art, culture, and citizenship movement and well-being together with No Labels, No Walls movement.
You want to walk a little bit outside?
Yeah, I think it's a bit very different.
Follow us. So
Now it's getting more exciting than ever. It's dark, it's winter, and it's Finland. But we want to show you how does it look outside.
And we can add it's also slippery. So if picture goes out, it's because Marcus has fallen with his laptop.
we can just go like this and then back.
Yeah, we could use the main door.
This is exciting.
It's getting colder.
This is live from Helsinki.
Hopefully we survive.
Check the bikes in snow. Can you see anything? Not really.
I think so. It's still moving.
Let the camera get used.
It
So,
looks like
maybe-
Finland in January.
This is it. We got some snow. It's a bit on and off courtesy of climate crisis. So, you know, winters are not what they used to be like, but at the moment we're below zero, below freezing. So that's nice and crispy in the air without being any excessive super cold spells here. But probably if you want me to make a bet, I would say that in 2 weeks, we're going to have slush again. Not the IT events, but like slush on the street, slush on the street, and all going down to water again. This way? Yeah. Yeah. So this is actually, if you Marcus get a wide angle, this is the courtyard. It's a really beautiful yard with cobblestone. It's the oldest cobblestone area in Helsinki that's been preserved. It was under asphalt, and then some 5 years ago, the asphalt was removed, and you have actually round cobblestones that have been laid here in 1840s.
It's very beautiful. And if you visit Helsinki city center, you can see that it looks very similar. That is why, because it has the same architect. So
Carl
this
Ludwig Engel. He's the guy. We can show you the picture just in a moment. We have him hanging on the wall.
So when you enter Lapinlahti, you can use these main doors here and just go in. It's open for you.
Welcome to everyone.
Yes, art therapy room. For example, a neighbor art therapy room, art therapeutist. He has a small gift shop on the other side. Now they're all having their evening at home. Here's some activities happening here and outside. So there's I think like over 200 free happenings during a year. Isn't it right, Thomas? More or less.
Yeah, we got about that amount of events, and then we have last year I think we had 70,000 visitors who actually came for events. We don't know the people who come for the beach, but that doesn't count. Would actually come for the events, so that's great.
Yes, a free library for free books people can bring and take. And here's a famous Carl Ludwig, and of course there's Verhomo. What do you call it in English? They refurbish poster and chairs and so on. It's really, they're actually the info place of the house. They tell always where people have to go. this is Carl Ludwig Engel, our great hero that we are hoping to keep under Helsinki ownership, the house, the buildings.
So let me just emphasize what Klaus just said. We have a building here that you've seen on picture from aerial view and indoors a little bit, built in the 1840s by the architect who has designed Helsinki city center. It's empire style building, so from mid-19th century when Finland was part of Russian Empire, Tsarist Empire. So we have that. We have then a former mental hospital that in the 1840s was following the newest thinking in how to take care of people with mental health issues. Before, people were locked up and seen as a problem. Here, the thinking was you can actually cure people from mental ill health. And for example, the park around this area was designed in a way to treat people. So people would go out and be in the park, and there were much more space at the time, and they would till the land, and they would that way improve, some would improve their health. So you have that. Then you have currently these activities that are not, cashing in on the city in terms of taxpayer money, in terms of external funding by the city or support by the city. We are self-sufficient. We have, of course, funding, but it's not we have from the city, but it's not to maintain, the place. We pay for that. And all of this whole nationally recognized heritage, they in the city, certain people in the city and some people behind, last Klaus was saying quite clearly, pulling some strings, is going to be proposed to be sold to a real estate developer, international real estate developer. So we're losing the national heritage. And on top of that, it goes to a real estate developer with connections to tax havens. So, I mean, this is really quite outrageous. And this is one of the reasons why we have, and we will keep on fighting. And even if you lose the fight, at least we go sort of down with out with the boots first. So we're not giving up.
Absolutely not. Let's continue back to the first floor of my studios. That Thomas has your working place in the Venice building, but maybe it's a bit cold and chilly, so we were outside already. Let's go back. Here's actually Markus's and our art project, the Ice Collective. If you have ever heard about it, it's a small piece, but it's also in the park. We have put this ice on the lamps all over Lapinlahti Park. So to have an eye and watching over the situation.
Yes.
Cool. That's a nice one.
There are some artworks from Pösilö. This is Lapinlahti art show. It used to be on the gallery side, so it's 3D. You see, look at it with 3D glasses, and you can see the Lapinlahti in 3D. And welcome to Velf Industries and
Incorporated.
Yes. We can tell also, we've been doing a documentary film about the whole situation with Thomas now for 5-6 years. We've been following this all this craziness and the activist movement or the citizen movement and the Helsinki people standing up for this situation. It's been really beautiful to follow how a small group can light up something and then it becomes much bigger, like participating in this fight. The COVID had a lot to do with it also, because we showed that the park is getting smaller. So all the walkers, the joggers, and all were suddenly, we put these big signs, for example, in the park. and we put these yellow lines in the trees to show like do you really want a hotel in this park? And Thomas, yeah.
Yeah, so that's a hint for you if you're engaging. You know, when there's a construction project, it really believe based on this experience, it really helps to mark out the area in the space. So especially in a park, it's pretty stark because you'll see that, okay, all of this is going to be a hotel using those construction tapes, and we're going to do the same thing related to the tunnel that Klaus mentioned earlier, again to show the madness of having in that vicinity. Yes, here we go. This is good quality stuff. I think there's like 500 meters. What is that? 1,500 feet.
Thomas had a really good idea to show with this the whole area. It changed the game really.
And combined with the boards that you made, it's really concretizing. And I think that's one thing when we think about local democracy and decision making. Things are pretty abstract, and they just paper follow their paths, and things are what's it called hammered through, and before you know it, something is decided, and then people wake up when the tractors and the construction machines come in. So I think it's really important if a community wants to engage with decision making to concretize it as much as possible. If you can also tell that each individual loses something in that process, of course everybody sort of looks after themselves, so that will help. Like losing the park. We
are like more or less 15 to 20 people in this ohjausryhmä, or the steering group of like how to deal with the information and how to give people the citizens the Helsinki people the information, and now planning a couple of campaigns, like five different campaigns on different levels, and like really grassroots level, how to, you could say, lobbying politicians and talking to politicians, engaging people and giving the information what it really costs, and what the citizens are losing if it will be sold. So there's a lot of talking like we can't afford it and it's really expensive and they're for free there, but it's all not like that. And we have tried to show it the value of the events and people here working on daily basis, and keeping the place for open action, because on the other side the NREP and these real estate developers always have the argument that it should be open for all the people. But what it really means is maybe some hotel or hostel or a cafeteria. And what's a cafeteria? I mean, of course, you have to buy a coffee, or you can't just hang around or involve in actions over there. But that's the argument. It should be open for everybody. But there is a cafeteria. So,
I think.
Sorry, we have about 8 minutes, and I want to make sure that we don't go what we get, because I have an idea. This year's festival is going to be about, like Marcus is saying, celebration of spaces. And I think, like you're saying about the positivity, do you guys have anything planned for maybe the summer or fall that we, No Labels, No Walls, could do an event as part of it, like celebrating your space? Because I think what you guys are facing is really what we're also facing in the United States. The big difference between what you're doing and what we're doing is in the United States is that there is really no spaces in the United States left. And where in Finland, it's much more common to have community spaces in every neighborhood. In the United States, at least in LA, it's not, if it's not privatized or religious based. So what I would love to see, and I would be down to help out as much as possible, is a celebration of those 70,000 people that do come, and all of the different things. And if we could highlight those things in a festival atmosphere, invite politicians, invite, the friends of Lapinlahti, and then broadcast that internationally, I would be excited to do that.
We are planning a really because we're planning to have a what is a sad, yeah, a foundation, planting a foundation to organize and run Lapinlahti, and it's really working very well. But we're also planning a concert that we have a lot of really famous artists and musicians to take part in it. So this could be one possibility. Of course, it's another concert place, for example, that, or then there's in summer there's these Lapinlahti Liberta happenings. For example, you can tell.
Yeah. So Lapinlahti Liberta is really like an outdoor concert with a pretty broad range in terms of music genres and in terms of what kind of performers. So that's a really good one. I think that's more towards August. There's another event where we're tallying on to what is Helsinki city's celebration. It's their sort of annual Helsinki Day. But like last year, we were like top line sort of places to go during that day. So, you know, the whole city kind of celebrates and there's all kinds of events, but Lapinlahti was really quite high up in terms of the listings of stuff to do. And we had a huge amount of people here, so just in terms of bodies in the park, it was really quite good. And the third thing, which is not really confirmed yet, but there has been an idea to organize like a Lapinlahti seminar, which would bring those politicians that you might go mention, and would bring also civil servants, that would bring the civil society and all the other usual suspects to the same event. But that's like on a conceptual stage. I wouldn't know if that happens at all.
Sorry for talking too long or like representing. We're really proud of Lapinlahti, but what's all about like now we should get international and get connected to like through Citizens Network or No Labels, No Walls, and that's what we are lacking. We're trying to get time in our work also to get more and more connected. But it's of course that the fight has taken a lot of our energy and effort.
Yeah. And on that note, actually, if we're running out of time, I really want to say thanks to Markus of you know, hosting this here in Lapinlahti, and the opportunity for us to talk about the work that is being done here. And it's super if people actually would send a small message to that Gmail address that was mentioned earlier to connect with us. So
absolutely,
yeah.
And I think, you know, it's definitely even if we had 2 hours, this wouldn't be enough time to kind of show what you guys are doing for the community. I've been to Lapinlahti. Obviously, Medi's been to Lapinlahti. We know how amazing it is. Obviously, if you put trucks, just the air quality, like nobody wants to be outside anyways, right? Because the diesel trucks. So the whole thing's insane. But what I think, you know, as far as what we would love to do is to broadcast the fight. And also, I think the fight, like you're mentioning, is the importance of the space, you know, which is really what the fight's about. So if there's an opportunity for us to perhaps, Markus, I don't know what you're thinking, but have another event where one of those things that they're organizing, we would broadcast, and then maybe we could even add to it, you know, an event based on what you guys are coming up with. That would be something that we would really love to do, to keep showing, you know, showing this great space. What do you think, Markus?
I think we need to take Lapinlahti to Los Angeles so we can celebrate Lapinlahti in various places around the world. So think about it. What could be a part of Lapinlahti that we can show in Los Angeles? Or in New York, Chris? What do you think?
Send us the tickets.
Right. I think, Markus, that I've got a lot of people I can ask about spaces that we can share with you. You said you're looking for spaces that you can show as examples from other places. And I think they exist here in New York. And there's some quality people to ask.
And absolutely. And I think, you know, what's interesting is the same thing that you guys are fighting for with your community space, which obviously has a lot to do rich versus poor, right? Because I mean, that's really what it is.
Absolutely.
You know, it's very similar themes to why the community spaces in Los Angeles, the ones that are left, are closing, and I'm sure very similar for in New York, the same kind of thing. I think in New York, there actually might be even more community spaces than Los Angeles because of the age and the infrastructure that was set up. But that being said, so I think if we can highlight some spaces like Chris is mentioning in New York, also in Los Angeles, and then we can see the same kind of struggles, maybe that's the best way to unify the message that, you know, these things are important, but they're still facing the same kind of adversity, right, around the world. Maybe that's the way to, because, you know, include it and to connect it.
And as we are closing, I would like to welcome Neasley from Los Angeles. You know a lot about struggles, you know a lot about solutions and action. What can you bring from Lapinlahti to your community?
Wow. Excuse me. I love, number one, congratulations. I love what you are doing. One of the things so as I'm starting a new year with my church, one of the things we're doing is I have been going through the space and realizing that we have this massive campus and half of it is literally sitting there wasting away. And so one of the things we have mounted is trying to figure out, first clearing it out, bringing it up to par to what it's supposed to be, and then how we can coordinate with the community to have the community have access to that space. And so it's a fight because everyone has little pet projects that they want to work on, but I'm always up for a good fight. So so that's what we have coming down the pipeline, getting, you know, we've gone through not being in the building for over 2 years, close to 3 years. So trying to get everybody back into the building, train them, get everyone in the building ready to go back out into the community. So that's where we are in this process of transformation and change and connecting with the community. And hopefully, one of the things I'm working on with my dissertation is sort of creating a space where I can teach different courses and hold different support groups, like different mental health support groups. We have them online right now. I am trying to bring that element in person, prayerfully before mid-year.
Wonderful. And it would be lovely if you could show those spaces during this year as part of No Labels, No Walls movement, as we are having these monthly meetings, so we could meet some people from your community.
That would be great. And then when it gets warmer, if everyone's going to Finland, I'm expecting my ticket also.
Yeah.
But not in the winter. I'm a Caribbean.
Not in the winter.
Girl. I don't like
Absolutely. Let's switch tickets.
Okay.
So Michael, back to you. What happens in February?
So we're going to this place called the Fairfax Senior Citizen Center, where we started to do ongoing workshops there, but it's a center that's been around, I think, since the 50s, maybe 60s. And now the space is very gentrified. It's run by the city. The area around it's very gentrified, run by the city. Hasn't opened in over 2 years because of COVID. They're struggling to have anybody come. So they're having this Valentine's Day event, this party, and what we're going to do, we're going to be doing some theatrical stuff. We're going to film it, and then we're going to also show the space and what's the uses of it, and then hopefully think about what it can become. A lot of the same things you're bringing up, which is privatization. That corner is probably worth at least, I don't know, in the millions of dollars, you know, if the city decide to sell. What?
If not build.
Yeah. Well, yeah, I don't know. Yeah, so it's something that we can show the themes of what you're facing and also what that space is facing and how it can be transformed. I do think, though, for the international to help the fight, right, as we're thinking of how does the international aspect help local fights, I think it's based on the commonalities between the fights, between the problems that everybody's facing and how if you find solutions over in Lapinlahti, we can then apply them and vice versa to here and to there. So I think that's something that we'll be looking for, to see the commonalities as well as the solutions that we can all use together. And that's my idea. Anything you want to say, Mehdi?
No.
So
Definitely worth doing.
Yeah, keep it up.
So 13th of February, same place, same time, we go to see some spaces in Los Angeles. This is Markus Vähälä from Helsinki, No Labels, No Walls community invites you to take part in the struggle of finding spaces for everybody. Thank you so much, Thomas and Klaus and everybody in Lapinlahti. And see you next month.
Nice
Thank
seeing
you.
you.
Bye,
Yes.
everybody.
See you.